The first known movie theater that opened to the public dates to the early 1900s, being referred to as the Nickelodeon. While this is not affiliated with the Child Network that brought us classic shows like Hey Arnold and SpongeBob, Nickelodeon was chosen as the word Odeon, means theater in Greek, and nickel as the cost of administration to see the moving pictures. Theaters today are currently finding innovative ways of staying afloat, as many of them are competing against online movie streaming and consumers not wanting to pay the high ticket pricing and concessions. Today, we will be going over a list of defunct movie theater chains that are no longer around. Now, without any further ado, grab your favorite beverage and let's get started.
Time to keep it down right now. Shh. Shh, back at you. Shh. Why they acting already? It ain't nothing but the previews.
Number 10. New Vision Theatres. New Vision Theatres was formed in 2017 by the acquisition of Carmike Cinemas from AMC Theatres. AMC agreed to divest 15 theaters to win Department of Justice approval for the merger, which made it the largest chain in North America. Beekman Investment Partners, owners of New Visions, acquired the locations from AMC across 9 states with 184 screens and more than 500 employees. After 3 years in operation, and despite no known financial struggles before the COVID-19 crisis, the 18-location and roughly 200-screen movie theater operator was shut down permanently. On August 28, 2020, a court allowed AMC to reacquire 10 theaters it had previously divested, leaving those unclaimed to remain shuttered. Number 9. Great Escape Theatres. Great Escape Theatres was a movie theater chain that operated movie theaters primarily in the Midwestern United States. The first theater opened in Bedford, Indiana in 1997 and soon opened locations in Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Nebraska, Missouri, and Georgia. Great Escape Theatres focus primarily on mid-sized market areas consisting of populations between 100,000 and 400,000 people. The company operated 305 screens at 26 locations before being sold to Regal Cinemas in December 2012 for approximately $91 million. Number 8. Consolidated Theatres, North Carolina. Consolidated Theatres was a movie theater chain based in Charlotte, North Carolina, operating 28 theaters and 400 movie screens in 6 states along the East Coast. It was founded by Herman Stone in 1993, being a part of the Stone Group. Consolidated Theatres was acquired by Regal Entertainment Group on May 1, 2008. As a condition of approval of the acquisition, the United States Department of Justice required that Regal sell 4 theaters in the Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina markets to Cinemark Theatres to ensure continued competition. Number 7. Magic Johnson Theatres. Magic Johnson Theatres was a chain of movie theaters originally developed in 1994 by Johnson Development Corporation, the business holding of basketball player turned entrepreneur Magic Johnson and Sony Pictures Entertainment through a partnership with Sony Loews Theatres. The focus of Magic Theatres was to build first-rate multiplexes in urban communities, bringing high-quality facilities and technology, as well as job development and encouraging local economic growth. The first location opened in July 1995 when the Magic Johnson Crenshaw 15 opened in the Baldwin Hills Mall in the South region of Los Angeles, California. This was followed by theaters opening at Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta, Georgia, and Randall Park in Cleveland, Ohio. During the partnership, 2 additional theaters were opened: Magic Johnson Harlem 9 in Harlem, New York City, and Magic Johnson 12 Capitol Center in Largo, Maryland, a suburb of Washington, D.C. In 2006, AMC acquired Sony Loews and rebranded many of the theaters as AMC Magic Johnson. While the Cleveland, Ohio, and Atlanta, Georgia locations were closed by AMC, the Magic Johnson Crenshaw 15 was closed, renovated, and reopened as the Rave Cinemas Baldwin Hills 15, by the Rave Cinemas chain in 2011. It has since been renamed the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza 15. Irvin Magic Johnson Jr. is no longer actively involved in the management community, strategic planning, operations, or public relations. Number 6. Dickinson Theatres. The company was founded by Glenn W. Dickinson Sr. in 1920. The first small two-screen theater opened in the booming agriculture college town of Manhattan, Kansas as the Dickinson Marshall Theater. After the success of the first theater, a second location was opened less than 2 hours away in Lawrence, Kansas, called the Dickinson Bowershock Theater. By the 1930s, Dickinson Theatres had grown to parent 26 theaters and continued to expand. It was at that time Dickinson decided to relocate the company office to Lawrence, Kansas. Fast forward to the 90s, which marked the company's 75th anniversary and a year of great success. The company introduced the crown jewel to the Kansas City area, opening the extraordinary West Glen 12 Theater in Shawnee, Kansas. This theater would later expand to 18 screens. At this time, it was operating a total of 168 screens in 39 locations throughout Mid-America. After several changes of leadership, Dickinson Theatres were purchased by the Liberty MO-based chain B&B Theatres in 2014, being rebranded under the same name. Number 5. General Cinema. The General Cinema Corporation, also known as General Cinema, or GCC for short, was founded as a drive-in theater in 1935 by Philip Smith. The company did not see much growth until 1939 when World War II started, due to heavy sales of news printed on film. After the war ended, the company assumed new leadership under Richard A. Smith, who had decided on pushing the company towards indoor movie theaters for all future expansions and had opened the country's first shopping center theater in Framingham Mall. Starting in the 1960s, General Cinema diversified into other businesses, most notably forming a joint venture theater chain with Holtz, known as Holtz General Cinema, that had locations throughout South America. The company also teamed up with Lou Gray's Associated Television Corporation to form Associated General Films, which produced films including Voyage of the Damned and Capricorn 1. But the partnership ended the following year, and ATV's ITC Entertainment subsidiary started financing films on its own. In April 1992, the company collaborated with Lucasfilms to create mascots for the company. Within less than a year, the then iconic Candy Band was created. Soon after, 2 more mascots were developed and named Popcorn Bob and Pepsi Sue. All 3 developments were used in pre-show previews from 1993 to 2002. In 1993, General Cinema's holding company, then named Harcourt General, spun off General Cinema as a separate company. The company suffered greatly when it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in October 2000 and Chapter 7 bankruptcy in October 2001. On December 7, 2001, AMC Theaters agreed to buy GC Companies, Inc. as part of GC's Chapter 11 reorganization plan, with the acquisition being completed on March 29, 2002. Number 4. Muvico Theatres. Muvico Theatres started in 1984 with the acquisition of the Movie Center 3 Theater in Coral Springs, Florida. Between 1985 and 1995, Muvico bought and built 8 theaters, totaling 59 screens. Muvico's theaters were known for the use of decorative themes at several theaters, such as the Egyptian, 1950s Dive-In, French Opera House, Mediterranean Palace, and 1920s Grand Movie Palace themes. Some locations were equipped with D-Box motion seat technologies, allowing the guest seats to move to the action within the feature. On November 4, 2013, Carmike Cinemas agreed to purchase Muvico Theatres for just under $31.8 million, and the deal closed at the end of 2013. Number 3. Clearview Cinemas. Clearview Cinemas was formed in 1994 through a group led by Bud Mayo and was listed as a public company on the American Stock Exchange on August 19, 1997. It became a subsidiary of the American cable television company Cablevision in 1998. Clearview Cinemas offered a loyalty program called Clear Advantage, which offered members free movie Tuesdays and other discounts. In 2013, it operated a total of 47 movie theaters with 253 screens in the New York metropolitan area, including the famous Ziegfeld Theater in New York City. Ridgefield, Connecticut-based Bowtie Cinemas purchased 41 of the Clearview Cinema locations from Cablevision Systems on April 29, 2013, making Bowtie the largest exhibitor in the metropolitan New York area and the 8th largest chain in the nation. Bowtie would manage the Ziegfeld Theater in New York, although Cablevision retained ownership up until 2016, when the company itself was acquired by Altice. Number 2. Loews. Loews Theatres Incorporated was formed in 1904 in Cincinnati, Ohio by entrepreneur Marcus Loew. To provide quality films for his theaters, Loew founded Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer (MGM) in 1924 by merging the earlier firms Metro Pictures, Goldwyn Pictures, and Louis B. Mayer Productions. Loews Corporation, the successor company to the original firm founded by Marcus Loew, announced on April 9, 1985 that it was negotiating to sell Loews Theatres to a group headed by A. Gerald Perenchio. On October 20, 1986, when federal regulations had been relaxed, TriStar Pictures, then a joint venture co-owned by the Coca-Cola Company, also owners of Columbia Pictures at the time, and Times Inc.'s HBO, entered an agreement to acquire Loews Theater Management Corporation for $300 million, which closed December. In September 1997, Cineplex Odeon Corporation announced that it would merge with Loews Theatres for $1 billion. The merger was later approved by the United States Department of Justice on April 16, 1998, and was later completed that year to form Loews Cineplex Entertainment, thus making it a joint venture between Sony and Universal Studios. The combined company was one of the largest movie exhibitors in the world, with theaters in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South Korea, and Spain. The company was forced to sell its newly acquired subsidiary, Cineplex Odeon Films, to Alliance Atlantis, which was formed from the merger of Alliance Entertainment Corporation and Atlantis Communications that year. In 2001, though, the company declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Among the changes were the closures of 46 theaters in North America, including 21 Loews Theatres in the US and 25 Cineplex Odeon Theatres in Canada. AMC Theatres announced in 2005 that it would merge with Loews Cineplex Entertainment and that the merged company would adopt the AMC name. At the time of the merger, Loews operated 198 theaters with 2,235 screens. Many theaters were rebranded as AMC Loews until the Loews name was phased out in 2007. Number 1. Carmike Cinemas. Carmike was founded when Carl L. Patrick Sr. acquired Martin Theaters from Fuqua Industries in 1982. The company's name was derived from a combination of the first names of Carl L. Patrick Sr.'s two sons, Carl Jr. and Michael, hence Carmike. In 1997, Carmike partnered with Walmart to start the Hollywood Connection, starting with the location in Columbus, Georgia. Amenities included a modern multiplex or megaplex movie theater with 5 to 15 screens, indoor miniature golf, a roller skating rink, a laser tag arena, and a video game arcade. Carmike filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in August 2000 after failing to make $9 million in interest payments to bondholders. The company exited bankruptcy in 2002 after selling many of its smaller and historic theaters. Carmike would acquire more theaters, purchasing 30 GKC theaters from Beth Kirasotz in 2005, 3 theaters from M&M Theaters in 2011, and 16 theaters from Rave Cinemas in 2012, purchasing an additional 3 more a year later. In 2016, the company had about 276 theaters, making it the 4th largest theater in the United States. That same year, AMC Theatres announced its intent to acquire Carmike Carmike Cinemas in a $1.1 billion deal, subject to regulatory and shareholder approval. The deal was completed on December 21, 2016, in which AMC overtook Regal Entertainment Group as the United States' largest movie theater chain. In February 2017, AMC announced it would discontinue the Carmike name and rebrand all its locations under the AMC, AMC Classic, or AMC Dine-In banner. Most of Carmike's former locations were converted to the AMC Classic banner, which donates smaller locations with fewer premium amenities than the AMC and AMC Dine-In banners. The AMC Classic banner uses Carmike's trademarks, including the folded film logo and the America's Hometown Theaters slogan. Well, this brings us to the end of our list today. Let me know in the comments below if you know of any other former movie theater chains, or if you recognized any of the ones we went over in the video. See you next time!